Hi, and welcome to Here with Laura. I'm your host, Laura Williams, and I'm a designer, entrepreneur, and mom, and this is a space where real life and meaningful conversations meet. Today, I'm joined by the woman in Austin who makes you wish you could just impulse buy a house. Erin Scialabba, more commonly known as Erin Sells ATX on Instagram, is a real estate agent here in Austin who has such a great eye for homes that feel really special. She's known for finding those character-filled properties and helping her clients not just to buy a house, but really understand the value and make smart, confident decisions. Erin's path to real estate is anything but traditional, from corporate finance in New York to stand-up comedy, which makes her perspective so refreshing and real. I can't wait to get into her story, the Austin market, and some very entertaining behind-the-scenes real estate moments. Erin, I'm so excited you're here. Erin, I am so happy you're here.
I'm so happy to be here. It's been a journey.
I know.
To get to this couch.
I know. We've had a morning. Life as a business owner is just the way it goes. But let's kind of go back to your beginning. How did you get into real estate? I mean, like I said, it was unconventional. You did stand-up comedy, so you're a performer, which is also, for anybody who looks at your Instagram, can tell that you've got personality, which is fun. I love that. You did finance, which I don't see. I'm sure you're a numbers gal, which is good for real estate. But like,
you wouldn't know.
How did you get here?
We slipped that under the rug. Yes. Thank you for having me. Always wanted to be a part of the fabric of Austin.
Yeah.
And a part of, I wanted to have a life that made sense, where the output that I put into this world actually had a real return. And for years, I was working to figure out what that looked like. So I grew up on the East Coast. Where did you grow up?
East Coast, Florida.
Oh yes. Wait, we're in Florida.
I grew up in Orlando.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
How about you?
Oh, I grew up in New Jersey.
Okay.
Like Orlando, but not at all. The Garden State.
Yeah.
And I went to school in upstate New York. It was freezing. I enjoyed school, but I was always cold, and I thought, let me find a warmer climate.
Mm-hmm.
But before we got there, I was a journalism major. I knew that I wanted to create something. I got offered a job in journalism, and the pay was $15 an hour, no benefits, after a college degree.
And you're like, oh.
I was like, I can't even afford to commute
Yeah.
on that pay. And so I kind of started thinking of different ideas. And long story short, I ended up as a data analyst in the financial district.
Okay.
I did data for a PR company, and my clients were healthcare based. Long story short.
I'm sorry, was this in New York City?
This was in New York City.
So life is very expensive there. I lived in New York City too. I don't know if I've shared this with you
Tell
before,
me.
but I lived there for 5 years. Did the grind. I was eating ramen at night because it's like that's all you can afford, and you do what you got to do. So I can't even imagine being paid $15 an hour because I was dying at what I was being paid.
Yeah. Where in the city did you live?
Well, first I was like right behind Lincoln Center in like these very small apartments right on the Hudson River. Sounds fancy, but like I could touch the wall with my toes. Actually, you know what it was? Is I had like a piano that I brought up with me from Florida and I had it at the end of the bed, and you could actually like play the piano with your toes. I couldn't, but like accidentally I would sometimes.
Yeah, you'd roll over and
be like, yeah. But no, that's where I was. But I ended up in Queens. I lived in Astoria because I needed more space and I needed more money
Queens is super
in my pocket.
cool.
Yeah, I loved it.
I envy you because I never even got there. I lived with my parents, and I commuted from New Jersey, and then I sublet my brother's hippie friend's apartment in Jersey City, where like the screens were punched out so people who came and go could like smoke and ash out the windows. It was not ideal. So it was not the glamorous New York life that I was looking for. And I knew I wanted to get out of there. And I knew that I didn't like the job. I was like, I need to do something creative. I was in Excel all day, every day.
It's my worst nightmare. It's like when I'm doing my finances in general, and I'm like, no, thank you.
No, I actually had I truly mentally combusted. And so, long story short, I transferred to Austin. I paid off my student loans and I gave my 2 weeks notice the minute I paid off my student loans.
Good for you.
I was like, thank you so much for
Yeah.
the opportunity. I'll be leaving. I even told them, I said, this is not the job for me.
Yeah.
Because I didn't want to burn a bridge, but I did not want to go clamoring back.
No, you're like, this is how I will end this. And to go to the next stage of life, whatever that is, it's not going to be anywhere in this avenue.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I truly didn't know. Like, did you know you wanted to be an interior designer?
No. I mean, I always enjoyed it, but I didn't know it was honestly like a career path that was attainable. Like, it didn't seem like a real life job.
Did you start at, so how did you start and then where did you go?
I used to be in marketing. I was in beauty marketing. I worked and did that. I did global marketing for a big company in New York for a few years. And then I did for Miami, a company out of there. And then after that, I was like, okay, we got married. I had my first baby. I was doing just marketing business of my own while I had an infant and was working on my house. And I was like, I like this way better than the marketing stuff. And so that's how it began, was our first home when I was working on that.
Did you see my eyes? Like the minute you told me that you had a baby and this was before you even started your business, that's crazy. Because I am in the throes, right? I'm 36. I'm like, do I have a child? Can I work this job and have a child? So I would like to talk to you more about that.
Yeah. I love talking about that.
Yeah. I'm so... We'll table
We
it.
digressed. We'll get back to it.
We digress.
So tell me, you moved to Austin.
Moved to Austin. I left the job.
Yeah.
I knew I literally, after I quit the job, I did a 1-month intensive outpatient program at Seton for perfectionists. And I wrote down on a pie chart, like, what did I want my life to look like this year? And I wrote, I want a job that's a part of Austin that feels Austin-y. Like, I want to be a part of the community. I didn't move to Austin to be in Excel. And I want to work somewhere beautiful, and I want to be able to have hobbies. And so I interviewed at a bunch of places, and I ended up at the South Congress Hotel.
Oh.
I was a catering waiter. So I went from having this big salary to being a catering waiter, and I just knew that I needed mental space to figure out what it was I wanted to do.
Yeah.
And from there, I realized I loved showing people the space.
Mm-hmm.
I loved telling people the history of the space. Again, I'm a catering waiter. I'm like welcoming people at the door. The front desk is like, Erin, what are you doing? Yeah. I'm showing people where a toco is hidden and where water trade is hidden. And so I got to this point of, how do I parlay this into a career where there's not such a ceiling? Because in hospitality, unless you are an owner, there's really a ceiling.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
And so, I was making hourly wages. I couldn't be an owner. So during the pandemic, I studied to get my real estate license. Sounded like it would make sense. I was watching Selling Sunset. I was like, if these idiots can do it, I can do it. Sorry.
I thought the same thing.
I'm sure they're characters. I'm sure they're smart people. But, the way they're portrayed, I'm like, if these ladies can do it, I can do it.
And these multi-million-dollar homes, you're like, what?
Yeah. And I was thinking, too, should I go back to school? But the only thing feasible was for me to do, do I be a therapist or a realtor? And I went realtor. And now I'm technically both because I talk to people all day about their problems.
Literally.
Yes. So
that's
how we got here.
Yes. You are in such a unique place, though, with the types of homes that you sell. You're not selling the builder grade home in the suburb down the street. Like, you are selling the top sellers in Austin that are like, I mean, I said in the intro, you make me want to impulse buy a house if I could. It's like but you're the person who does that. And so, like, you got into this really unique space. How did you find that to where you wanted to be, I'm doing these beautiful character-driven homes in Tarrytown and all these special, unique areas of Austin that are really special. You're not just selling, the beautiful, typical home that anybody else could buy.
I appreciate that. It was born out of true passion. Like, there was no plan to do this. Okay. What happened was I was an agent. I didn't have any clients. I'm not from Austin. And I would go on these tours and I would go into a beautiful home and I would look around and have heart palpitations. And I was like, I need someone to know about this. And the price is actually good. I need them to understand where this is. And so I just started making these videos to kind of get the word out. And simultaneously, as I was doing that, I was also working luxury open houses.
Okay.
And so it wasn't just the video content. It was kind of the
fusion of the two.
The fusion of the two, because I was in the field every weekend, gathering real-time data, seeing what buyers liked, understanding what was a diamond in the rough versus just, a spec house.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
No, that's amazing. I feel like, and this is actually, something really special. I feel like your personality is what helps things to go further too, because you're very likable, as you can tell on this conversation. This is not fake. This is real. But you're just like a very nice, normal person, and you gain people's trust quickly. And I feel like that's such a huge part of real estate. And what are some things that you do? I mean, you've mentioned to me that your clients feel like family, and I love that. What are some things that you do to ensure that like things go smoothly? They have your trust for a reason, and they aren't just a number to you, because I've worked with realtors before. And I feel like a number, to the point where my husband and I are like, we can just do this ourselves. Like,
right.
And you don't make it that way.
Something that you just said is so important. I think a lot of the general public feels that they can do it themselves. And I understand why. There are some basic tenets of negotiation that I feel like we kind of all have. But an agent that actually adds value should be able to go in, they should be able, you send me a property, I can immediately say, that's overpriced, that's going to sit, that's going to fly, I love that, but it's right near that. I believe when it comes to a buyer's agent, the buyer's agent needs to be the dream killer. We need to be the one poking holes. You need to be the one falling in love.
Yeah.
So as a buyer's agent, my job is never to sell my clients a home. It is to make them aware of the risks of buying that home. And that's kind of, I don't know.
I feel like that's the opposite mindset,
right.
Because you want the commission, right? Is that how that works?
I think that I would. So this is when it gets,
and this is me
this
being
is when it
like
gets juicy.
devil's advocate.
This is so good. I want, I love this career. I want a great review.
Yes.
I want to be referred clients. I want to know that if I have to sell this house in 3 years, I can sell it for either the same or more than what we purchased it for. And also, I know that anytime clients are placed in a home, if something goes wrong, they're going to call me. So I am like risk mitigation.
Yeah.
that is the hat that I wear. When it comes to commission, I think, and this is a bummer, because of course you want to give young people an opportunity, but I don't think you should work with an agent who doesn't have experience, for a couple of reasons. One, the amount of legal liability in buying a home is just, there are so many opportunities.
It's your whole life.
It's your whole life. It is so much. And then two, you have to work with someone who is so, again, this is going to sound messed up. I'm going to regret saying this, but the person you are working with has to be so financially comfortable that whether you buy a $2 million home or not, it doesn't really change my life.
Yeah.
Because then I can make a clear-headed decision.
Yeah. You're like, I'm not trying to pay my water bill right now. I am just wanting to find you a great home.
Exactly.
Yeah. No, that's great though. It makes a difference.
It does.
And that doesn't mean you're not hungry. You're still going to work hard for your clients, but what's driving you isn't the money.
No. What's driving me is the experience. And I have lucked out in selling these beautiful homes to a degree. Yeah. It is in part because people see the aesthetics that I like, so they come to me because they understand that we enjoy a similar aesthetic.
Yeah.
But also because oftentimes, if a home does have an X factor, it's a bit more of a solid investment because I know that someone else is going to, if we can see that X factor, when you go to sell, someone else is going to see that. Whereas the home that's been sitting for 150 days, it's either that way because it's overpriced or because something's weird with the layout. And this is the perfect bridge into talking about what you do, because the finish out and the layout, the way that the light plays in the home, the way that the home functions, that is what sells a home.
Yeah.
Not me. It's when someone goes in and they feel, well, it's when someone goes in and they feel, again, when we're talking about sell side, completely different. And that's another conversation, but just talking about buyers. Right?
Yeah. So,
because I'm selling homes. When I'm listing, I'm selling that home, and I'm making all of the case for selling that home. But but those are two different job functions.
Okay, so then let's shift gears then into that. Talk to me how your brain kind of changes into what you're communicating to your clients, who is selling their house, who wants to sell it for top dollar, what you're conveying to the other realtors who are coming and looking at it. And that process, because if they want to come to you versus somebody else, what are they going to get out of, coming to you to sell their home versus another realtor?
Thank you for asking that. That's a nice, I get to do my soapbox here.
Yay!
So to me, I believe that there are many fantastic agents in Austin. Truly, to trade real estate, luxury real estate, and make a living, you have to be a smart person. I think that agents don't get enough credit. So anyone who's selling over $20 million a year, that's an intelligent person. They know what they're doing, and you're probably in good hands. I think for me, because I am not originally from Austin, because I don't have any pre-existing contacts. Again, I came into this industry having been a catering waiter. So my friends did not live in a fancy home. And it's not like I got to just call up my network.
No, a lot of the beginning of anything is who you know.
Exactly.
And it's like, if you don't know anybody with money, you're in trouble. Or you have to get creative.
Yeah. And or be radically transparent. So that has been my MO from day one. It has been radical transparency, and I speak to my clients as if they are my friends, or like I mentioned to you, like they're my brother, or like a fellow industry person. If I am calling a fellow agent, I'm like, did you see that home go up? Can you believe that price? I'm saying the same thing to my client. There is no, I'm one way with agents and one way with clients. And I really like to demystify what this whole process looks like. So we have a private market in Austin. The first thing I do when I get people, when I have a Zoom conference with potential buyer, we got to go back to sellers. I don't know why I'm on buyers, but when I go back to buyers, is I say, I want to demystify the private market with you. Let's screen share. All it is a database.
I love that.
I just want, so when it comes to selling a home, if I'm going in on a listing appointment, this translates in the sense that I am never going to pitch that we can get an obscene price. I'm always going to be honest. And I have lost many a listing that way because I've said, I just think you are shooting yourself in the foot if you go up at this price. And then with that.
Because you never want your house to sit for a long time.
No.
It's
a scarlet letter. Days on market is a scarlet letter. And when you, especially if you're proud of your home, I always tell my clients this, you want people to walk in your home and go, oh my gosh, I have to have it. This is it. What you don't want someone going in, okay, it's nice, but $2 million? Okay, what are we getting for $2 million? Where's the, that those two experiences are so different. And frankly, I believe the former is even more enjoyable for the seller. You want, as a seller, to see people so excited for your home. You want people in the door. So,
absolutely.
I don't know. I don't even know what I'm saying.
No, but that's great. I mean, honestly, so we have a few properties that are Airbnbs and other, in Florida. And we've gotten to the point where we're like, it's just kind of a headache to have them. We don't, so we put them on the market and everything. But the houses around there are listed high. So we're listing high as well. We're like, I bought this for a quarter of that. Is it worth it?
I would look at closed comps.
I know.
I would look, don't get too caught up in the active comps.
That's true because they're active for
they're
a reason.
active for a reason. So look at your closed data.
Yeah.
And I'm curious, is it a neighborhood that's very homogenous, or do all the homes look very different?
Very different.
Very different. Okay, that's more challenging. So that price per square foot data kind of goes out. And you're an interior designer, so I can only imagine that these homes are gorgeous. So
pretty. I love them. But it's just one of those things where it's a lot of headache.
Oh, I'd love to look at that.
And my sweet husband handles it. I don't handle it anymore. I was. And then I just got too busy with my business. And he's like, I'll take it on again. And I'm like, okay, great. Thanks.
I don't typically work with clients who do Airbnb.
Oh, really?
So in Austin, if I have a buyer and they say that they want to do an Airbnb, my bread and butter and where I feel I add most value is to folks who are looking for a special property
for themselves,
their forever home.
Yeah.
But I think the typical Airbnb play, the numbers don't make sense in Austin.
No, I get that.
And I don't like setting people up for failure.
No. Yeah. No, absolutely.
Now, if you came to me and you're like, we're looking in Lockhart for this gem and we're going to fix it up.
Yeah.
Then we're talking.
Oh,
that
absolutely.
makes sense.
But that's a different market.
That's a different market. And that's not central Austin. Like people looking for a white box spec house to turn into an Airbnb. That is a dead on arrival mission. And I will not take part in that.
Dead on arrival.
I will not.
Oh my God.
Help facilitate that mess.
Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna transition a little bit.
Okay.
You hear about people being realtors, but like you're a business owner. Let's talk about your business, how you run it. You have a team now. Let's kind of talk about that.
Well, I need this chat because I feel as though it's really only been probably 2 years since I've been very successful. My first 3 years, it was the build phase. And then now I've experienced 2 consistent years of success. I'm on year 3.
Congratulations.
Thank you so much. But my life has changed so much. The demand for my business has changed so much. And navigating that has been, no one can prepare you for it. Everyone online talks about go for your dreams, how to build a business. And then it's like you make it. And then you're like, oh my gosh, there's no playbook for this. Yeah. I have no time to even see my boyfriend, let alone go on coffee dates for someone to pick my brain, which is nonsense. I am just like, you cannot pick if you call me if you have a question, but I can't do a coffee pick brain session. I'm sure you get that all the time.
A lot. And it's like, shoot me an email.
Shoot me an email.
I'll email you back. But
do a voice note.
Well, and you're trapped. Your time is precious. And it's like you really have to be thoughtful about if you're not working, what are you doing with your time? Do you like to exercise? Okay, when are you going to do that? 5 a.m. It's like that's the time I have to do it. Okay, so otherwise I don't do it.
So I aspire to be you because the reality.
Be careful.
No, you don't understand. You got up at 5 a.m. like a capable adult, and you have a child. I am childless, unmarried, have a boyfriend of 5 years. We both own our businesses, so we are just like go. And we're like, when do we do that?
Yeah.
When do we do that?
Yeah.
So it is, what is today, Wednesday?
Tuesday. I think today's Tuesday.
So it's Tuesday. Last night, I worked until about 9:30. Just like until 9:30, hopped off, went to the gym, went for a walk, because that was like all I could bring this body to do. Went for a walk.
That's great, though.
Showered, finished doing my hair at midnight, got up at 7:30, started working the rest of my contracts, and then came here. And it's, unfortunately, that happens too often. And so that is why I have hired an operations manager. And now, as of last week, we have a new marketing gal.
Oh, good.
And so I'm just so excited to have that support, because I think the main thing that I noticed is I wasn't showing up. I hated showing up tired. I hated showing up winded.
Yes.
And that's not, in my opinion, appropriate. That's not an appropriate way to show up to clients or to anyone that you're working with. And so I am now working to build systems and
processes and all the fun stuff.
So where are you in your business, like years-wise? Or I don't know if you're comfortable sharing that.
Yeah. No, I've been around from a strategic standpoint for 6 years. This is my 6th year of business.
Wild. Congrats.
Thank you. And it's been a journey of building. Like the beginning was just me doing 2 projects at a time, prior to that. And so it's been a journey as far as what I'm willing to put into it and take out of it. I mean, like you said earlier, so I was a mom before I started this.
Yeah, I cannot believe that you built
And
something.
I will say that's still my number one priority. So like my kids are at school until 3 every day. They go to school at 7:30. I pick them up at 3. I make sure I pick them up at least 3 days a week. And my husband works from home. So like he also, a lot of times we'll go together to pick them up from school and we walk home as a family. I will play games with my kids after school. I will take them to their after school activities. While they're doing jujitsu, I'm on my computer. I get to watch them take some kids down, but I'm answering emails that have come in for the last hour and a half, And then, but like I schedule my calls and my meetings unless there's something that needs to happen in the afternoon. I do it in the morning because I have until 3. If I can't get something done by 3 p.m., well, I don't know. We'll figure it out, But like then I put my kids to bed at 7:30 and I'm back online and I work until I feel comfortable to start my next day so I don't wake up in the middle of the night going, which still happens. I mean, Saturday night I was up in the middle of the night. I'm like, why? Why? This is ridiculous, So I put a little show on my ears and like Friends or something and fall asleep because it distracts me.
Oh my gosh, there's so much I want to talk about.
Which I know is not healthy. My husband's always like, try your breathing techniques. I'm like, shut up.
No,
I don't want to hear that.
No,
I don't say shut up. That's not very nice.
I don't think
in my head I say it though, but I don't say it to him.
When you are a high functioning business person, you need like silly TV or books at the end of the day. Like
to just like unwind and let yourself drift off.
This year for me, it's been Southern Charm. I have watched from season 1 and like every night I look forward to Southern Charm. People are like, what are your hobbies? I'm like, oh, honey, I watch Southern Charm.
It's just Southern Charm. That's it. That's all I do.
Yes. I think it's almost refreshing to hear. It's like your children are keeping you accountable. And I think that because I don't have this child that I'm living for, there are times I don't hold myself accountable to like staying in this time block or
You're 100% correct because otherwise I would work through the clock.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't, like maybe I forget though sometimes like, oh, I need to stop for a meal or I just always have snacks with me and I eat on the go and Chomp bars are my best friend. I have little protein bites and those are things that I'm just like living on. And then when I get home, ready to go walk to pick them up at 2:50, I'm typically eating like lunch meat while I'm walking to get them because I haven't eaten since I left in the morning. And
this is the life of a business owner. True. I regret to say, like, I will reach in the back of a cupboard for some plastic cup and shove yogurt in it and then eat it with a spoon on my way to my next thing. It's just like, how do I fuel my body so I have enough in the tank to go? But I think your built-in boundaries that you have because of your children, they not only serve your children, but they serve your business. Because what I have learned over the last 2 years is, though it is my desire to work, I don't know. I think perhaps I avoid some other things by working, to be honest. I really like it. I love the job. I feel accomplished when I do it. I feel like I'm helping people. So it's very easy for me to say, like, why would I exercise this morning? Like, I've got things to do.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to, but even though it sounds like a noble thing, it's really not because it doesn't create the best work when you're working all the time. I really do, especially for creative, and I'm sure you feel this way too. I need more mental space for creative. I've actually found that my creative process this year specifically has been stagnant because I don't have enough time. Like I used to just like go for a walk and then be like, that would be so hilarious if we did that. And like I don't have as many of those moments because I don't have the downtime.
No, girl, you're speaking my language. No, I was just talking about this the other day to a friend because I'm like, how am I supposed to be able to produce something that I'm proud of and excited about if my brain doesn't have a chance to open up? And unfortunately, like I'm dealing with that a lot right now. And it comes in ebbs and flows. But I totally get it. And honestly, the only way to allow it is to just like slow down for a second. Like give yourself a block where you're like, I'm not. And if the creative juices aren't flowing, okay, shift to something else, create a new block, you know?
And famously, the most well-known founders, they have baked in that creative time and that downtime,
Yeah.
and that's why delegation is so important. But again, I feel I am such an excellent realtor. Like I know that I know that job and I can advocate for any of my clients and do it better than anyone. I recently
Yes.
saved this like 2 weeks ago. I saved my client $500,000. Like I am so good at leveraging the data and also being respectful in my presentation.
Yeah.
And I love the job. Being a business owner is a different beast for me, and I am learning, and I am very upfront with my clients. Like, this is new to me. Delegating is new to me. And I do really have a lot of trouble sometimes asking for what I need
Yes.
because I want my employees to feel like amazing. I want them to love the job. I want this to be a fantastic experience for them. And so it's very hard. I am finding that balance and I'm learning how to
Yeah. And it's
every
like
day.
delegating what you want to delegate off of your plate is the hardest thing to do. But because, I mean, I'm a designer. I should be designing. Like, that's what I should be doing. But since I'm a business owner, I am having to do all of these very boring, annoying things all the time that have nothing to do with making a home beautiful or, bringing an idea to fruition for this wonderful family that I adore. And I just want them to have a special house,
Yep.
So, when I was creating my team and we were talking about like team members that you have, it's like first I was giving them the design projects and then I'd say, okay. And then once you come up with a concept, I'll look through it and approve it. And then I realized that's not what I'm here for.
No,
Like,
you want to do the job.
I want to do the job.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So I've tried to rework it and also have, other members of the team doing those tedious things. And I'm finding more of a balance now. But I still have weeks where I'm like, I haven't designed anything. And it's just also, the ebbs and flows of the projects where it's like, well, now we're in construction. So like the creative portion's a little less there.
Right.
But I mean, it's just, you feel it and it's like, I need to create something. And then that's typically when I like go into my house, I'm like, I'm going to rearrange my shelves.
Yep.
Or I'm going to impulse buy an accent chair. My husband comes home and he's like, oh, I'm like, oh, put a new rug down.
Yep.
I feel creative today.
No, we need
Check
to
the
channel
box.
that elsewhere.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. And it's very hard as a business owner to know where you should be as a figurehead.
Yeah.
So I'll give you an example. In real estate, from Selling Sunset about brokers opens. Oftentimes in Austin, we do these caravan tours where there are several homes on a tour, and maybe one of my listings will be on the tour. So I have had full spirals this year specifically. Am I welcoming everyone at the door, or should I be on the caravan to look at all the inventory so I can report real-time data to my seller as well as preview for my clients?
Yeah.
When will I have an opportunity to do that? But I want to be there.
And you're only one person.
And I'm only one person. So I am still figuring that out because I do need to see the inventory. It's what makes me good at the job. I don't want to let go being good at the job, but I also need to transition. Like I want to be more of that public facing. I'm trying to boil it down to like what my job should look like every day. And obviously it's a work in progress.
Well, you know what you need is a clone.
No, truly.
That's the only solution here.
Truly. And
Copy and paste of you so one person can stay back. And
I want to be too conscious of the fact that it's like I'm hiring a real person to help me.
yeah.
But I'm not able to pay them as much as I make because I need to have money in the pot for the business
Of course.
and to pay them.
Yeah.
So it's just this interesting cycle. But so I'm always conscious of, well, this person isn't making that much. So I don't think I can ask them, like, it's not that they're not making that much, but this person isn't making X. So perhaps I can only ask them why, because X would be I really struggle with that because I want things to feel fair, but shoot, do I need more help? And so, we're refining that process for sure.
Yeah. And it just takes time and honestly, probably trial and error for you. with what you're doing and is it best for you to go on these tours? And can your ops person maybe be the person that's back there and just answering questions? What's going to get you more not bang for your buck, but what's going to move the needle more for your business? Probably going and touring those homes.
And for my clients.
Yeah.
It's because, so even today, so after this recording, we have a showing, but I also have 100 other things on the docket. And I want to be the one opening the door for my client, but I'm going to be there this weekend hosting the open house. So maybe if I have my assistant open the door, it is truly, I think what I want to stress to the people, to the viewer, is that it is not like, oh, I don't want to go, I'm sending my assistant. It's like, where can I be that's going to have the most impact for my clients? I take the job really seriously, and I want to talk to you about this when you're designing. I really do feel the weight every single time that this is the foundation of someone's life.
Yes.
Either the funds selling their house that are going to be used to move on to their next step, or purchasing the home. This is where they're going to be. I take it so seriously, and I feel that no stone can be left unturned.
Yes.
How do you design? I mean,
I agree with you. I
Yeah.
think the hardest thing is when we're working with a budget and what people are wanting to spend. Sometimes people, though, which is, people would say, that's a great thing. They want to spend more. But I'm like, what's your home worth? Are you trying to sell your home in a few years? Don't put that money into this.
We need people like you.
But we can make it beautiful by not doing that. And you're going to see much more return in your future. It drives me crazy.
That is, I can't thank you enough for that, because we have so many sellers coming to us saying, I invested so much in my home, but they purchased in 2021 at the height.
Yeah.
And then they invested a premium, but we're really still selling at 2021, 2022 pricing.
Yeah.
And that is a really hard position to be in. And that's sometimes where we do try to leverage the private market or kind of like a guerrilla marketing campaign.
Sure.
But you can't, every neighborhood has a bit of a ceiling. And there are exceptions to the rule, but it's a hard thing.
Well, and I will say too,
so I appreciate your consciousness of that.
I will say, is this going to make your life happy for the next 5 years that you're living here? Go for it. If this is going to improve your functionality, is this going to improve the way you live in here every day? Yes, let's do that special. If it's going to spark joy, let's do it. But I don't want you to be angry when you're trying to sell it in 5 years.
What you did there is perfect. I feel so seen by you saying that. In my business, I tried to emulate the same thing, which is, for example, if someone is in love with a property that is priced for a premium and it is probably going to sell, but they're going to be buying the most expensive home on the block.
Mm-hmm.
Like right now, I have someone interested in a property that really should be 1.7, and it's listed closer to 1.9.
Okay.
And we've worked every angle. There are other offers in the pot. So it's like, you're either going to pay this premium or not. And so to me, the distinction of being a good advisor is simply saying, this is what it is. If you want it, you can have it. If you'd like to live here for 5 to 10 years, fantastic. But I can't guarantee we're going to get this return. So long as you know that and you're okay with that 100 to 200K differential, go for it.
Yeah.
Exactly. It's all about, so long as they know and they fully understand.
And that helps your conscience.
Yeah. And it helps them, because some people, it's like, okay, it's like 200K different. I hate to say it, we work with a lot of wealthy folks. Some people, 100 to 200K, it's a drop in the bucket, and it's like, okay, well, I get the house.
Yeah.
I don't have to have the stress. Done.
Yeah.
And so long as they know that, that's fine.
Fine. Yeah. No. And I'm like,
I know. I'm like, don't ask me to sell it for that price in 2 years. Please.
I can't promise you anything. Yeah.
I know. I'm trying to get better too at putting it in writing. This is what I think it's worth.
Yes.
If you buy it for this, that's okay. But I can't sell it.
Everything in writing.
Yes.
Always. Oh my gosh. Okay. So since we just had that kind of fun moment, you did stand-up comedy.
Ah! I did. It was I went through a breakup and I needed an outlet.
Good for you. That's awesome.
Well, it was right before
Well, you're in
COVID,
a good place to be doing it in Austin.
and it was like right before all of the craziness in Austin happened. So, it was during the pandemic. Right before the pandemic, I was working at the South Congress Hotel. I was booked as an actor in a play downtown, like a paid play. It was
You.
I had paid stuff elsewhere, but it was my first paid gig in Austin
Yeah.
at a really reputable theater. I was thrilled. 2 weeks into rehearsal, the pandemic happened. The play went off the books. Then I was furloughed for a short time from the hotel, and I had this time on my hands, and I needed an outlet, just like you, when you're like, let me buy this chair. I was like, I have this idea,
Talk about small sparks of joy, though. It's
Exactly.
like, yeah.
And it was truly also, again, born from having time. I was on a walk, and I always knew I wanted to try stand-up, but I never had the bit.
Yeah.
And I was walking on the greenbelt, and it just hit me. And I was like, that's it. That's the joke. I could talk about this for at least 5 minutes. And so I ran. I think I remember I ran back to Barton Springs and sat on a bench and just started writing it. And then I started doing open mics. I don't even know if is Opa still around. I started doing open mics at Opa, and then I did whiskey. I got a paid job at Whiskey Tango Foxtrot, and I did Rosie's, and I did all these things, and it was fabulous. But bombing is real. I would self-sabotage, and I would just go up unprepared because I thought I was hot shit. Sorry, and then I would just completely bomb.
Yeah.
I had some great shows, but I had some bombs. And for me, bombing is not when you don't get laughs, but rather when you just forget how to speak.
Oh.
Just blah, 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 and it is mortifying.
And you're like, I think I need to get off the stage right now. But it's scary because you're up there and people are just staring at you in silence. It's not like, you're going up and singing a song. It's like, well, if you don't know the song you wanted to sing something different.
Right.
Or, if you have a band behind you, or it's just a different animal. It's hard.
It was very hard, very fun. I think for me, and this is going to sound so cheesy, but when I started doing real estate, I liked it more. Truly, I would have stuck with comedy if I got more joy from it.
Mm-hmm.
But real estate, as corny as it sounds, it allows me to do all the things. It allows me to be creative, make the videos. I get to put these beautiful homes. I don't know. I just feel like I get to be a part of this beautiful world that, frankly, I could never design a thing. If you saw where I live, you would be horrified.
No,
but I can
doubt it.
Don't speak too soon. But I can spot something that looks beautiful. But and then also, I didn't realize that I was a business person.
Yeah.
I mean, I think I knew deep down, but once I started doing business, I mean this in the humblest of ways. I am like a savant, and I didn't, until you feel that feeling in yourself. You think, I want to be an actor, I want to be a comedian. I tapped into this thing where I am so freaking naturally good at it that it's just nothing can compare. I don't know. So corny, but it's and to say that, I think can be a bad look, but I think you can see from the joy on my face that it's it took, again, I'm 36. It took me until I was 31, 32 to feel that feeling. I had been searching for it forever.
Yeah.
So did you feel that way about design?
Yes. You're making me cry now. No, your passion and your excitement, I mean, it just exudes out of you, and it shows on your channel where you're showing these homes. It shows every time anybody walks into a space with you. I mean, you radiate. So, I mean, you do beautiful things. I'm so happy that we did this today.
Me
Thank
too.
you so much for being here and for being so open and transparent and talking, from your heart and sharing so much about your journey. I know that backstory isn't always what people want to share, so I appreciate it. And thank you for being here.
Thank you so much for having me. I hope I didn't get too in the weeds. I never know. My fatal flaw is talking too much. So thank you for having me.
You talk just right.
Thank you. Thank you for being
right.
here. And for it is so fun to sit across from another female business owner, to see you be successful, to see you scale, and also to see that you have a thriving family. That is such an inspiration to me, and I'm excited to text you more about what the hell I do after this.
I'll talk about it all day, so you just tell me when.
Okay. Thanks.
But
Sorry.
thank you. You're so kind. And thank you for spending a little time here with Laura. If you enjoyed today's episode and conversation here with Erin, I'd love if you'd subscribe, leave a review, or share the episode with a friend. It helps more than you know. And you can find a little bit more about me, about Erin, and everything we talked about in the show notes. And until next time, take care of yourself and don't forget to make space for what really matters.